welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome. It's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existing, guys, then thank you so much for coming back. So today's video is a autumn craft. So grab yourselves a nice cup of tea and some snacks. Mine is a rosy, mine isn't a rosy, yeah, it's Rosie Lee's cup of tea. Mine's a cup of tea in my Rosy Pumpkin mug by Emma Bridgewater. It's official. It is the end of August and I'm starting with the autumn content. And not only that, we're going to go off with a bang. So we're going to upcycle Poundland items, everyday Poundland items, into beautiful autumn crafts, autumn fall. Depending on where you're from, because I understand different people from different places watch my videos. But obviously it's a little bit difficult at the moment because they haven't got their autumn fall decor in the pound shops at the moment. So we're just going to be using everyday objects with a little bit of stuff from home or cheap recycled pieces to make these really beautiful autumn decor pieces. So let's get in and start off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of scrap paper here because the first item that I picked up, I might as well put these together. I picked up a glass jar from the pound shop. So this has just got home written on it. I really love the sort of ribbed design on this. It's just got a silver lid. I think I got one of these in copper last year. And I also picked up from the garden section this little squirrel. So he's a little bit naff, if you don't mind me saying. He's really brown. His eyes are quite freaky. But yeah, they also had those. I think these are the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So I've got the speak no evil one with the hands over the mouth. So all I'm going to do with these is get a paintbrush and a little pot of white chalk paint. You can pick up tester pots really cheaply from places like B&Q and Wilkinson's. They're between £1 and £1.25. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slather these on to these pieces because these are really going to change the look. Really try and get in all the nooks and crannies. It hasn't got to be perfect, as long as we sort of like cover the garishy colours. As I go in, he's got a lot of details on his body, which I might leave some of the details exposed, if that makes sense. I'm just going to completely cover this. Today's video as well, what I'm going to be doing is obviously, because you can't sit here watching me paint the whole objects in one go, I will show you roughly what it looks like, because I've also got to give these a little sand at the end as well to show you a little distressed look, to show you what they look like. So I'll style them up and show you at the end of the video how they came out anyway, and any other tips I'll just put the videos together. Kind of editing, but for people that can't edit. So I'm just going to paint this, and something that's cost as little as £1 from the pound shop can turn into something really, really pretty and more of an autumnal piece that you would actually have out in your house. So I'm going to finish painting that. I'm just going to put it to one side at the moment, and I'm also going to do the same. I'm going to leave the lid silver, but I am going to do the same with this jar, because you'll see this is going to have such a nice effect. This is going on really quick, this chalk paint. And what I love about chalk paint is you can put it on most surfaces and it's really quick. You don't really need 2 coats most of the time. Goes on really nice, but that is just looking really beautiful. Even if you don't do autumn decor, I mean, why would you be watching this video? But if you don't do autumn decor, you can obviously use this for like something else. It's going to look really lovely all year round. You can obviously change this up. It's just because I'm going to be adding a few items to this at the end to make it really autumnal. But if you're quite neutral in your colour scheme, you won't have to. So I'm just going to paint these up. I'm so glad to be crafting, guys. It really is my happy place. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but I love to craft. So I'm not going to paint on the rim where the jar does up, but just on the top part that you are going to be able to see. So we'll give that a second coat on that bit because it's a little bit, well, actually it doesn't need it. I just needed to go a little bit softer with my brush. But we're going to be distressing this. You can really see that homemade sign on that now that's been painted. Won't paint the bottom as that's pointless, but we're just going to put them both to the side, let them dry, and I'm obviously going to finish that scribble off, painting him off camera, so you're not sat here waiting. But I wanted you to see that I'm actually going to paint them, see what they look like before. So I'll put that to the side for a moment. So the second thing that I also picked up, the third thing I picked up, was these. Now these are from the garden section also. Now they have these in a beautiful sage green and a cream, but this lovely orangey terracotta I thought is going to look amazing, and we're going to make a floral arrangement, but like an autumnal bucket. So what I'm going to need for this, or what you're going to need for this, is some glue sticks and a hot glue gun. They do sell them in the pound shop. I think the glue gun's about £3, and then you get glue sticks in there. So the glue sticks, I picked up a packet of 12, and these were £1 in there, so I'm going to need some more because we're really going to get going with this. So you can pick up some floral foam. That's the first time in my life actually I've ever said that correctly. It's normally floral foam, but floral foam from Home Bargains. You can get it in some pound shops as well, and they're like £1, and you can put them in there as an oasis sort of wreath form in there. But I literally get sent out a few packaging because the kids are obviously having their rooms done, so a bit of old polystyrene will do nicely. There is no need for waste knot, want knot, so all I'm going to do is with a bread knife. If this makes your teeth go on edge, I do apologise. It's going to make my teeth go on edge, a little bit more messy as well. You're just going to need a tiny little bit, just so that your leaves and stems sort of stay in place and make more of a mess than this than need be. Gary's going to come home, he's going to be like, why are there polystyrene beads everywhere? I'm just going to put a little bit in the bottom just to sort of hold the stems. Didn't really think this through. Get some floral foam. Look, first time I'm trying to be eco-friendly. Let's use what we've got. It's stuck down me, it's stuck down the cupboards, and just ruined my little space now, haven't I, guys? Not going to edit it out. You can see the real life Rosie struggling. So what I've got is I've just got some new Calypso stems. Now these ones are from the range, but however, they do sell these in the pound shop. And actually, last year, they haven't brought them out yet. Last year they brought out like a burgundy colour in the pound shop. They're £1 a stem, and they're very autumnal looking. But like I said, I'm just going to use what I've got. But you could use twigs from the garden, you could use, you know, sticks from a forest. You can use anything that you want, or you can use like some branches, foliage from, you know, your green spaces. So I'm just going to pop these. I'm going to bend them down a little bit more, I think. You can cut these down. Obviously, in the grand scheme of me not doing crafts for ages, I'm a little bit out of whack. So I'm just going to arrange these in here by bending them. Depends on how much you need in there to fill it up. Perhaps when you go out foraging for sticks and branches and stuff, take the bucket with you, just to see roughly how much you're going to need in it. That piece of polystyrene is completely redundant because these aren't got sharp ends, and I don't know why I didn't think of that. I think it's baby brain, but just that's fine. So something like this would look really cute in the summer or spring. You can add flowers to it. This is a really cheap way of doing it, but what I wanted to achieve was something like this. So I bought these from a department store, and even in the sale they were like £6.95, which isn't cheap. So we're going to recreate this Poundland version. So in the pound shop, coming up to autumn, they do sell in the craft section packets of autumnal coloured leaves. They also sell them in the works right now if you can't get them. I got a massive packet from Amazon. I did put that in my last autumn craft video. It wasn't a craft, it was like a haul. But it will show you where I got these from. I've got all the links in it on there. Because it just works out cheaper, you get a hell of a lot for a bundle. But if you're just going to be making this sort of craft, or what we're making today, obviously go to the works. They're literally £1, you get loads of them. And also you can get them from the pound shop if you just wait it out a little bit longer. So I'm going to be using a few different colours. I'm going to go for the oranges and the reds actually. I'm going to put them to the side so we can get a few of them out. And I've got my hot glue gun ready. This is probably the first time I've ever had it prepared. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to start gluing some of these autumnal leaves to the actual pieces themselves. It really is going to look a bit sparse and a bit weird at first until you really start to fill this out, and then it's going to look really autumnal. But like I said, right at the end of the video, I will show you how these all turn out, because I find when I get into crafting, some of these crafts take longer than 20 minutes each, and you know, I tend to like putting a few in a video at once. So rather than having a 3-hour-long video of doing all the crafts, I will just show you at the end what they look like when I've had a little bit of time finishing crafting. I'm going to put that to one side, and I'll show you at the end. It feels like Blue Peter, but I'll show you what I made at the end. We can do that, yeah? I'll show you what I made at the end. Is this going to even work? I need to get the majority of this off because we're going to get ourselves in a right little pickle. Thing is, it's static. Oh, for goodness sake. Have a cup of tea, Rosie. It's the pregnancy hormones in your baby brain that made you think it'd be a really good idea to get a bread knife out and cut polystyrene when you know what polystyrene goes up when you break it. Hence why you tell the children to never break the polystyrene when they open the packaging. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is, I've got 2 bits. Let's make it a little bit more like, right, let's pretend Rosie's not made mistakes. So the next things I picked up was a cheap chalkboard in the kids section, which I will now use my bread knife for, to open the packaging. We can put the little sponge and the chalks to one side. You can use these if you want to, but we're going to pop them to the side. And I'm going to break the frame off. You can use this for something else. All I want is the chalk back in. And then I picked up an A4 frame from the Pound Shop, Pep & Co section for £1. Now they had loads of different colours in there, but I thought that the gold was really nice, like a really autumnal sort of style. You ain't gonna believe what these look like at the end, trust me. My brain is ticking away and I'm like, right, that's gonna look like that, or that's gonna look like that. So I've got the ideas, even the polystyrene's having other ideas. Now the glass can be put to one side, obviously dispose of this safely. I don't really know what you might want to do with that. But all I'm going to do is pop the chalkboard inside. And I'm going to glue it. So I'm going to use this bit of paper as well because it's going to help guide me. Right, now I've come up short a little bit. So baby brain again, I've measured it slightly wrong, so it's a little bit bigger at the bottom, but that's not to worry because I'm going to glue this in to the edges. I need another glue stick. We'll just call this the calamity video, shall we? So I'm just going to run a little bit of hot glue down this end here, down this edge to keep this in place. And then pop this as far up as we can, so it's like flush to that bottom, and then that will keep that in place perfectly. And then the little gap at the top, it doesn't actually matter because we are covering this anyway. So it makes absolutely not one bit of difference, but it's just a little bit frustrating. And I'm going to pop these little safety pins down at the side to sort of hold it in place. You can pop another little bit of glue if you like to hold it in a little bit extra on some of the parts. But you don't really need to. I'm going to pop this down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing what I was going to do. So what I was going to do with a little bit of jute. So I've got a big roll of jute here. I picked this up from B&M. So this is about £2, but they do rolls of this in the garden section of the Pound Shop as well. So what I was going to do is I was going to cut this into a nice bow. And how to do this is just to cut that as well, cut the tape off because it's going to rip that and shred that. We don't need no more mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this flat on my hand and ribbon it up like this, like sort of fold it. And then what we're going to do is meet it in, pinch it in the middle, and it makes a really nice big bow. And then you can trim the excess off after. And obviously you can secure this with a little bit of florist wire. I'm going to go in with another piece of the ribbon, like the jute ribbon. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on one side. Hold it nice and tightly. And wrap it all the way over and then glue it back down. So I'm going to use this as the tie. It makes a really lovely little like burlap ribbon. We're going to trim the excess off. So just trim this bit here to make it the same sort of length. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue to the back. And we're going to pop it. Oh, mind your fingers. Don't do what I've just done. And we're going to pop it to the top of the frame, which covers that little gap anyway, for starters, so it doesn't really matter. But obviously you can get smaller frames in there. I'm in an R in between two. This one was an A4 sort of like, you know when you get a certificate frame in there. And I was on an R on whether this would be like big enough, like, and I was like, actually I think the other one would be too small. The other one would have been perfect. But you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. I thought I'll just do it that way instead. And then what I'm going to do is with some of the brown leaves that I've got, I'm just going to glue them and pop them sort of under the bow on the frame. And we're going to get this really lovely sort of farmhousey look. You can buy different leaves that are slightly more realistic looking if you want, but this is just something that we're going to be making. So this is like a little coffee station. So I don't drink coffee, but I like hot chocolates and stuff. And I know the kids like to know what syrups and stuff because I buy all the fancy syrups. Farmhousey chalkboard that we've got going on here. And then what I'm going to do is now, so this is the other little bit that we're going to be adding to this. We're going to make it look really, really cute. So I've got this stencil book. Now this stencil book was £3 from the works. And what I thought it would be really good is to list the syrups or to write autumn or, you know, fall on this. So you can unclip these. These all come off so you can use one at a time. Obviously, I'm not dealing with my brain function very well at the moment. And there's polystyrene everywhere for a start. And I've picked up the wrong size frame, which, like I say, it don't make no difference. And I'm going to use the fancy letters that you get in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I feel nice. Now I am going to write fall on this. I know I'm not American before anyone picks up on that. But what I would like to do is I'd like it to fit in the frame. Now you can obviously get the right size frame and do it the bow this way, which was the plan originally. But obviously that hasn't worked out and you've got to make the best of a bad situation. So I'm just going to be laying my letters in the centre, like off centre, so slightly more towards the top. And with my brush with the white on, I'm just going to dab over the top of my stencil. You can use a sponge for this. And obviously if you have one of them nice machines that you can print off, you may not need to stencil, but it's so cheap to buy these stencils and then you can keep these forever. And then you take them off and we're going to have some really nice beautiful writing on them. I'm going to do the A as well. Sorry if it's not 2 inch short. Just trying to be careful that I don't muck up the other letters. It's probably best to let them dry in between, but obviously I'm doing a video. And then have we got the L? Yes, we do. We have an L there. So I'm going to do the same again. And last one, guys, might need a tiny bit more paint. Ooh. See, normally I would take on one craft at a time, dab off some of the excess on the squirrel, I suppose. I would do one craft at a time, up my table, nice and relaxed and chilled. It wouldn't be like this, but because I get so excited, I'm like, I want to share this one, I want to share this one, I get carried away. So, over there. So on here we've got a lovely sign. It says fall on there, bit wobbly, bit wonky, but if you have more time you can actually take more time, put it up more towards the top, and with normal white chalks you can write all different syrups and stuff that you've got underneath, more ideas of what you can do, and I'll probably have that out. And I'm going to write some nice little recipes and stuff, what the kids can pick from, or they can say, you know, we've got marshmallows, we've got certain syrups and stuff. And obviously what I would do is I would weigh individually and space them perfectly, but because I've tried not to get it on, I'm like the other bit, I'm painting it across to the side. Let's do an easier craft now, shall we? So the next one I picked up was one of these little wooden troughs. Now, these are beautiful. I pick them up every summer. They say herb garden on them. That's going to go towards the back, so I'm not even going to bother painting this or doing anything to this. This is just a really nice styling idea that you can use. You're not going to need no paint for this. If you are a beginner at styling, sort of like for autumn and the seasons, things like this are perfect. It's £1. You can get yourself some nice pumpkins. They sell pumpkins in the pound shop as it gets more to sort of like middle of September time. So you can buy some then. Some of them are like foam pumpkins and they're like 50p, and you can paint them white, any colour of your decor. I'm going to be using some of the ones I've got off Amazon just because obviously the pound shop aren't stocking those at the moment. So all I'm going to be putting in here is some raffia. So I like to collect this and save this when I've had parcels and stuff. I've got a big carrier bag full of this from Christmas and stuff. Sometimes it gets a bit much, or if we get hampers. But you can buy this from the works. You can buy this online. It's really, really cheap. Or you could just shred some paper, or you could put anything in here really that you want to. But I'm just gonna literally pad this out. It gives it a really nice farmhouse rustic look. They come in different colours as well. You can even spray paint these a little bit. But I'm just gonna add this in here. And it really is as simple as adding some pumpkins. It really doesn't have to be a difficult thing. It's just gonna look really nice. And rather than just having a pumpkin on the side as you come into your hallway or in your kitchen or on your dining table, stacking them up in like a nice little pot or area of styling, it just looks so much nicer. So I've got those. I've got a few white pumpkins as well. I think actually this craft is going to be a white, well, it's more of an arrangement rather than a craft. This is going to be more of a white pumpkin theme. I've got a few sage green ones as well. They're also from Amazon, and you can just style these up. They're going to look adorable. I'm going to put a nice bigger one there, and then perhaps one of the tiny ones to fill the spaces at the front. And they look really nice. And obviously you could also wrap some jute. Make sure we get enough that will go around the whole entirety of the thing. You can wrap this round as well. And then add one of them little bows that I just showed you. I'm gonna cut the excess off. So all we've done is tie the jute round in a knot so far. Now we're going to make one of my fancy bows. I know what you're thinking. I'm going to pop that down, and I'm going to use the leftover to tie it with rather than gluing it this time. Tie it around the centre, and then we can glue this on. It'll just make it a little bit more stronger because I had to go in because it's actually fraying this one where it's so thick. Make a really nice big bow, and then put glue on the back where the little scruffy edges are that you can't see. And then we'll pop this to the front instead. And then what we could do is even glue the back of the ribbon so that it glues to the actual box itself as well, to make sure that it's so nice and secure. And then you've got a really cheap and easy from the pound shop. And obviously as time goes on, you can make these all from the pound shop. All of the bits will... Right, I'm holding it until it's drying. I'm just like, let's lift it up while it's like got loads of wet glue on it. I told you I'm not right. If there's someone out there that can send help for my brain, please do. It'd be amazing. Right, I think if this falls off now, I swear, I'm not going to do nothing because there's absolutely nothing I can do, but I will scream. I won't scream, I'll probably just yow again. Yeah, so there you go. A little autumnal basket wrap. I'm putting you out the way because you were one of the only things that turned out really well. You'll see, once I finish them all, you'll be like, oh my God, I cannot believe that they've turned out like that. Because these take a little bit longer than 2 seconds, but you know, and I'm not even gonna lie now, the amount of mess on this area that I've got to clear up as well. A little bit crazy. So the next thing I'm going to be making, the next thing I'm going to be doing for the pound shop is the Hessian bunting. Now we can be English again, or British again, and we can say autumn rather than fall. So let me just count the flags and let me see if my spelling skills are well enough. Now these are only £1 from the pound shop. These are in the party section, the garden party section, shall I say. So autumn is A-U-T-U-M-N, and then we've got one left on. So I'm just going to pop that one, disregard it off because we want the perfect amount. Let me just check that again. A-U-T-U-M-N. A-U-T-U-M-N. Oh, there's 2 extra. See what I mean? Oh my God, I'm ruthless, guys. I shouldn't even be allowed. I'm watching my children. I shouldn't be allowed to look after children. What is wrong with me? Oh, do you know what? It's going to be too hard to pull on. So you can do this and you can have 2 fancy ones either side, but I'm taking it off. And if I find out now that autumn is longer than that many letters, however many letters, 6, I'm actually going to be like, right, I give in. I'm not going to try it no more. So I'm just going to put this little bit of card like that I got from the backing of the frame that was too small, and I'm going to pop it down, and I'm yet again with a stencil. Now obviously, like I said, you can just get these in any colours that you want. I'm going to be doing them in the white, and I'm going to be a bit more careful where I place these this time, and I'm going to dab it nice. You've got to really dab it quite hard because it's on the jute. You can do this in orange, you can, sorry, I'm hiccuping now. You can do this in black, any colour that you want. Got an A, haha. Give me a U. If I'm spelling autumn wrong as well, how embarrassing is this gonna be? So where's my little book, guys? Where's my little book gone? Give me a U. Oh, I'm on a roll now. You're gonna be like impressed now with me. Give me a U. You might have to give these another coat. U. Where's the T? Oh, where's the T? A, B, C. Is there another page? Oh, that is a T. Officially losing my mind. It's like that song, my mind's telling me no. But it isn't. My body's telling me no, but my mind's telling me yes. Because my brain is just not there at the minute. Give me a T. Am I still doing that? We've got a U on there as well, haven't we? Right. You're going to be so impressed with this, guys, because this is such a simple craft. You could make like things for babies' rooms. I did one like this on babies' rooms before. I made one for the baby's nursery. Now we need an M. And then an N. I'm going to do the N at the end first because it's already here, save me walking back and... Autumn. Right, if I've got this wrong. Now I'm second guessing my own spelling process. And I love that you can just keep these stencils and use them as many times as you want. So now you're going to really appreciate how nice the stenciling looks. We'll just forget about the other craft because that was a little bit silly, wasn't it? You're going to be like, wow, we love it. I don't know. Might be pushing it a little bit there, guys, but you know. Right, let's just pretend that this is the first. I might edit this and make it look like everything went really well. So, how cute, it's literally £1 it's cost. You can use paint that you've got indoors. Have I spelt that right? Yeah, I thought that was the end, then I thought I'd done it back to front. How funny would that be? And also, you can stick on this. If you kept your two ends on, you could stick some of these like little leaves and stuff to them, look really autumnal. I'm probably just gonna add them to the A. And then like in the corners of the A, oh, add like little ones in the corners of each, the A and the N. And then one on the end. Just because I think they'll look really pretty, and we can tie them up and style them, and how beautiful are they going to look up as well. So we're going to put them over there to dry. So we've got those. We'll get our dodgy little full sign, which if you go for the right size will be perfect. Now let's carry on with the jar. So the jar is nearly dry. All we're going to do is we're going to rub off some of this. Should wait for this to properly dry, but like I say, and on the home bit, I'm just going to rub this down a little bit and expose some of the rims on the glass, make it look really, really shabby chic. Then put our lid back on. Now with the lid, obviously you could get a nice piece of jute and sort of cover the lid with this if you wanted to. I'll tell you what we could do with this one actually. Use this as a guide, one of our pennants. We actually use our pennant because, you know, I got it wrong. So let's make a bad thing good. This tends to be my thing really. I mess something up and then I think, well actually, do you know what? I'm a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. I get something wrong and then I'll make a masterpiece out of it. Don't get me wrong, it's no Da Vinci, it's a jar with a Hessian lid, but you know what I'm saying. So we might need another glue stick, but I'm just gonna put a little bit lightly, because you don't want to put too much on this because we're not going to be pressing this on, because otherwise the glue will seep through the hem and it would just, like the jute, and it would just look not that great. So if I just put a tiny little rim round on the actual lid itself and then just lightly drop this onto it rather than pressing it, just so enough that it can actually stick, you know. And then what I was going to do is I was going to cut one of these pieces in half. Let me just check that will go all the way around. Yeah, it will. I was going to chuck one of these pieces of jute all the way around. Now, what I love about these thick pieces of ribbon are is you can cut them down to size, rather than obviously if you get them and they're like a standard ribbon, they may be too thick for the jar. So at least with these ones, you can cut them down. And then you've got two ribbons instead, which I will be using. And I'm going to do the same again, but round the lid, all the way around. I'm just going to wrap it really, pulling the body of it tightly to it, but not actually pressing it myself. Because you don't want to have it all come through. And then once we get an overlap, just snip it, put a little bit of glue in there, and then just drop that piece, pressing it slightly so that the glue doesn't come out. And then you've got a lovely little jute lid, which we can then tie it onto the jar. And you could literally put like little bits in here, nice little like, once this is stacked with some nice coffee mugs or some beautiful little bits, how country does that look? It's just going to look really, really cute. So that was what that looked like. Obviously you can tie some jute around the top, add some leaves if you want. You can add some other bits that you would like to add to this. You can obviously add some like little pumpkins. You can hang some little pumpkins off this, or put, like I'm going to do now, one of my tiny little pumpkins from Amazon on the lid. And it's just a beautiful little pumpkin jar. How cute, literally from the pound shop. It's cost pences to make. And then I'm going to finish the squirrel, finish the tree, and I'm going to show you them at the end. So I've now finished painting the squirrel. He looks really cute and he's just going to go in really nice with my neutral decor and theme of autumnal stuff. Obviously, like I said, you can rub him down, make him more autumnal. And I'm just going to finish off. So I added some more of the leaves. Now I added some more of these brown ones that come in the packet, like a dark reddy brown. Very rust goes on my top actually. I should glue some to my top. And I thought they look really cute, especially in this little bucket. And then what I thought we could do lastly is 2 of the little pumpkins that came in the orange pack from Amazon. I'm just going to glue on the front. We'll see whether we're going to put them on an actual stem itself. See if we can, if they'll hold. Obviously remember to hold these until they're dry, otherwise we'll be having another moment. But yeah, and we've got 2 of those, so I thought I could pop in another one, maybe a little bit higher up. Hopefully the weight will hold, but obviously you could alternatively, these are polystyrene, put a stick in these and then just stand them up in there. I'm just going to pop that one to that leaf. And I just thought these are going to look really autumnal. You can put these on your porch, do these on a larger scale, but really, really beautiful pumpkin autumnal pots. And you could write on this, stencil on this as well. So I'm going to show you now what all the items look like, sort of like styled up, and then you can see whether you want to do them yourself. So I thought that this would look really lovely on a rustic chopping board, having my little pumpkins out on display just on my kitchen side. It goes with all my decor on my green kitchen cupboards, and I thought it looks really cute, and I can obviously put some little treats or some like nice coffee sachets in the little jar. I thought for the other corner of my kitchen where my bright cookery books are, we could have little Mr. Squirrel. I'll probably put him in my living room, to be fair. He's more with that decor, but I thought these little planters would look really, really cute with all the cookery books in the kitchen. But I wanted to show you Mr. Squirrel anyway, because the kids are currently watching TV in there, so I thought I'll just show you him displayed. So I'm yet to write recipes or ingredients on here, and obviously this is very wonky, but I've got a little pumpkin candle going, and I just thought this would be really cute, propped up with some chopping boards in my kitchen. And then lastly, I thought I'd hang on the bunting onto my paneling, which I thought was just really cute. That's dried really, really sweet. You could do longer versions of these or a few of them saying different things, but I thought they were really lovely. So definitely go onto Instagram to follow me on there and share them with me. Show me what you've made, if you've made any of these. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I know I've been a bit of a Calamity Jane. You've had to bear with me a little bit, but probably because I'm a little bit rusty, and I will get a little bit better at these again. I just get carried away. I think I should need to set out each craft. I'm like, oh, let's use this on that, and I think as I go along. So I do apologise. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Like I say, don't forget to share your pictures with me of your makes. If you follow me on Instagram, it's Rosie Henshaw Home. I will link it below in the description box below. And yeah, I love to see when you've made these crafts or what you've made for autumnal pieces. So yeah, love them, and leave in the comments as well what one's your favourite.